7 p.m. for them. I wouldn't have minded doing it. Oh, I couldn't have. I'm going out on Sunday night with my son. My Sunday night. I'm going out to dinner with my son. Right.
Okay. And then don't forget to click the record button.
No, I won't forget. Just remind me if I do.
Because usually I'll ask the guide to like just click it and I'll pause it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let me do it right now.
Thank
There
you.
we go. Up and running. Oh, right. Patty is in. Good morning, Patty. All right. Let me get rid of enable waiting room. All right. Here comes Patty. That's awesome. She's just connecting. Ah, there comes Patty. Good morning, Patty.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Good morning,
Hi.
huh?
Lovely to have you in class. Lovely to see you. Bright and breezy for me. It's what, about 7 p.m. for you?
Yes.
Aha, good. It's 7 a.m. for me. So
Oh no.
it's still
Now, are you
dark
in
outside.
Australia? Are you in
Yes, I
Australia?
am.
I
Yes,
love that. I
I
would
am.
love to go to Australia.
Ah, you must come. It is such a beautiful country. It really is. I've only been here for 3 years, but I really love being here. The animal life, the way of life, everything here is really, really beautiful. So yeah, I really enjoy it. Michael and I, we both of us, of course, being guides, we work in the morning, and I teach in the evenings, but we have time to walk in the forest. We've got a little forest next to us. There's a park in front of us, and we about 7 k's from the sea. So if we want to go and walk on the beach, we can go and walk on the beach.
What a life.
It is a completely different life to my life in
Yeah.
South Africa. Absolutely chalk and cheese. So it really, I mean, South Africa is also a beautiful country, but just the living style here is very, very different. So
It's a
yeah,
little, probably a little more laid back.
yes, we're in Perth, Australia, so we're in the only city on the west, and
Oh,
so
okay.
it's not as frenetic as all the cities on the east. So it just makes for a much more laid back style. In South Africa, it was interesting as well. The city on the west coast was always the laid back city. It was Cape Town, and Cape Town's
Hmm.
much more laid back than Johannesburg, where I used to live.
The United
That was
States might be that way too.
really
The
okay.
West
It's
Coast a little more
strange.
laid back than the East Coast. East Coast rush
Yeah.
and rush, rush.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, most of
It
our
is.
experience with Australia is with the zoo place, um, the famous people,
Uh,
the Crocodile Man,
the oh yes, 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 yes.
and
Crocodile
Bindi
Dundee.
just had her baby, and
Yes, yes, yes. With Crocodile Dundee. Yep, yeah.
no, I
And
mean
the
the other
crocodile.
guy,
Oh yeah, I know. I know who you're talking about. I
Bindi's
can't think
dad.
what his name is. Yes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. No, I'm more of the other side of things.
Yeah.
If you have you been to any of my animal talks yet?
No, just
Oh,
I was on one, but I can't remember what you did, but I recognize you, so I know I was. So.
yeah, no, I also do Australian animals, African animals, and encounters with animals. So there, I do five different classes
Seems like I did a
on
class at
animals.
10 p.m. at night. It might have been yours because it was somebody from the other part of the world. It was late for
Okay,
us, you
yeah,
know.
yeah, it would be late. Yeah, it probably was me because I normally have the 10 p.m. slots. My
Yeah.
husband has the slot before me and the slot after me, and I have the slot after him. So
Also, he does
we,
get set up also.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
so fun.
Yeah, he does things like business and microgreens and things like that. So
Oh,
yeah, but he's known as Michael Plumstead. So I didn't change my name when I married him. There was particular reasons why I couldn't at the time. So it hasn't
yeah.
changed. And yeah, so he does
Mm.
tips and tricks for Zoom, and he's got a business class where you can, or not business class, a class of where you can come up with ideas for where you want to go in the future with maybe doing a little bit of entrepreneur work or ideas and so on. So
Hmm.
it's really nice. So we've got different styles. I'm the artsy craftsy sort of person, and
Yes.
he's the more businessy type side of things, and
Now, where
IT
did he
type.
grow up? Where did
Also
Michael
in
grow?
South Africa, he grew up.
Oh,
Both of
okay.
us come from South Africa,
Hmm.
and we've got children. I've got a child in Australia, here in Australia, and one in South Africa, and then he's got children in South Africa, the Netherlands, England. So we've got children kind of
Oh,
all over the world. So it's very 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 nice. We've got lots of children. So
yeah. Oh, that's nice.
yeah, yeah. He's got 9. I've got 2, so we've got 11.
Wow.
So it's a big
Yeah.
family, a
Well,
very
we've
big
got
family.
11 grandkids now, and they're spread out in 3 different states. So that's not too bad, except we haven't been able to go see them in over a year, of course.
Well, I haven't seen my grandkids in South Africa. I've got 2, and I haven't seen either of them.
Aw,
So
yeah.
yeah, actually on your Sunday night, 7 o'clock, I'm doing a Mother's Day coffee time,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's going to be fun because we're going to talk about funny gifts and things like that, and uh,
Yeah.
reminiscing about our own parents, our grandchildren, things like that. So I think it's going to be a good. It's very different. It's not what I've ever done before, but there's always time to do something
I
new.
did a book club, I think, yesterday, and I'd never done that before.
Yeah,
A
well,
book talk, I guess, not so much a club, but we all read a book and talked about it.
nice,
A
very
certain
nice.
author, she's going through several of his books, so that's kind of interesting.
Very nice. That is interesting. Yeah, well, as I say, I'm hosting this mother thing, which should be very interesting. I've got to put some ideas together over the weekend, so we can. It's going to be a very loose agenda. It's going to be however it goes and whoever's participating. So it should be a lot of fun, I
Yeah.
hope.
Now, do you have a virtual background? I see it says get set
Mm,
up behind
No,
you.
my computer is not strong enough to do it. So I've made my own background. So there's
Oh,
my get set up background.
that's
So
neat.
mine's a homemade background.
It looks very professional.
So yeah, I wanted to get set up, but my computer's and my laptop's not, can't hold it. I tried a green background, and unless it was sort of between me and my chair,
Right,
it didn't work. So I gave up on
right.
that one. So I thought, no,
I see
make my own.
they sell a lot of those on the internet. I see, the green screens.
Yeah,
I see a
no.
lion, I think, behind you.
Yes, a lion on one
Yeah.
side and an elephant on the other.
I wish I
So
still had my lion. I had this great stuffed lion and I got rid of it when I was trying to downsize.
declutter, declutter.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, I've got a lion and an elephant, reminding me of my African roots.
Hmm.
So yeah, they're in the background of my, and
But
when the
I have
grandchildren
kept
come,
I've kept my gorillas.
oh, good, oh,
I don't
good.
let them play with them because they abuse them. They stay up on the top shelf.
Yeah, I've got a series on the top shelf here as well that are
Yeah,
not available.
exactly.
Right. There are others due to come in, but I don't know if they'll come in. So
Oh,
instead of that, you and I are
yeah.
going to add, we've got Kim with us. Kim is my TA, and she's
Hey,
wonderful. She'll
Kim.
help us with anything that we need. She's awesome.
She's not square. She just looks like a blue square.
Yeah, she's a blue square today, but a very chatty blue square when we need her to talk. So she's
Good.
awesome. So let's see what we're going to do today. I've got some lovely uh, ideas, simple ideas for
Yeah.
making moving toys for the children. It's all things we've got at home or things you can get at the dollar store very easily, like popsicle sticks or straws. Those are basically the things that
Have
I
those
work
on
with.
hand.
Well, then I tell you what you would enjoy if you've got some of your grandchildren that you do see, or I do it on Zoom with my
They live,
grandchildren.
I live across the yard. I live in their backyard. My house is in their
Wow.
backyard. So there's 5 of them plus a baby.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, great. Now, what's one of the ones is structures that I build. One of my classes is called Structures, a board and buster structures. It's in the same series as these moving toys, and that's
Oh,
using popsicle sticks and clothes
yes.
pegs, and that's got awesome ideas to do with them. So that might be worth having a look at as well. Right, so we're going to have our camera on, which is awesome. And we're going, if you want a copy of the recording, you can get it afterwards. I'll send you the link. Those who are popping in via live streaming, the best way to participate and have fun is to register and join with us. And anything I might mention as a product, we are not paid for that. So it's just by chance. I live in Perth, Australia. I've been an educator for 44 years. So, but now instead of educating, I share with Get Set Up. And for me, that's the best. I'm able to share and all my ideas and all the things that I've learned over the years. And so to be a Get Set Up guide is awesome. And of course, my love of animals allows me to do my animal stories and things. Right, our objectives today, we're going to make rockets, catapults, wheels and axles, and levers. Those are the things
Oh,
we're going to work with. So there's lots of interesting things. Again, the very, very simple basics. I think my happiest 5 years of teaching was when I did a subject called technology. It wasn't IT, it was teaching children how things work, how the structures are made, all that sort of how things are made, basically. And I did from little children right up to sort of 14, 15-year-olds. And I really enjoyed that. That was probably my best of all. So what do you want to get from today? What would you like to get out of it, Patty?
Oh, making things that they enjoy. They are age 7 to 14. So the 14 years getting old, but the middle one, he's been making rockets. So if I can get something to help him do his rockets better, and just to make things. They've actually made some toys last week with their mom. So
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Well, I hopefully these will also, Patty, if you go on to Pinterest, you can get lots of ideas. I've got a page on Pinterest and I've got lots of ideas on there as well. And then, and I've put them all together like moving toys, and then you can find lots and lots of ideas that I've collected over the years. But all you have to do is type in, when you're into Pinterest, moving toys, and up come an array of really awesome things to make, and a lot of them have a YouTube which shows you how. So it really is great. So let's have a look. Today, our introduction, all we need is simple things like scissors, elastic bands, very, very important for that, sucker sticks, earbuds, buttons, split pins, paper fasteners, and Google Eyes for anything that wants to come alive. Now, let's start with our rockets. Our first most simple of all the rockets is made with a balloon, and you just tape it to a straw. So grab my balloon. Here's my balloon. In fact, I'm going to stop sharing for a second. And right, so I've put a straw. What I did was I blew up a balloon. And then I put some tape on the balloon to tape my straw onto my balloon. Then I take a piece of cord and I attach it to something at the other end of the room. Anything you can find to attach it to. It can be in a straight line. It can be up. I've put a pole up in my office to attach my string to, and then you pull your string tight. so that it's nice and firm. Then I want to get it as low down as I can so that it can travel. You let go your balloon and it's gone. It takes off
Oh, okay.
right to the other end. It goes as far as your string goes. So it takes off and shoots across the room, and shoots up the passage. And depending on your straw length, it also makes it go faster
Uh-huh.
or slower, or thicker or thinner straw. The older ones can work out. Like my son has a partner, and she's got 4 kids, and they range between 14. My little granddaughter is 9, and the youngest one is 4. And I go and do all of these with them. And usually the
Mhm.
14-year-old says, no, I'm okay. And then
Yeah.
he watches what we're doing and he
Yes.
says, oh, well, I may as well give it a go. And
That's
the
what he
next thing,
does.
he's in
Yes.
there and he's
Yes.
making and doing everything. But I always leave it. I always say, no problem. And we leave it, and away we go. Now, the second one, I'll put them back as pictures just now, but I don't want to keep clicking in and out. The second one we're going to make is also very simple. One straw, a nice fat straw. And what you do at the end is you cover over the end so that the air can't get out the top.
Mhm.
And then I found cutting boards. You got 4 in a pack. And then I just use those, but you could use felt, you could use firm plastic, anything, just to make it so that it's got a stand, so that it can stand on something.
You have 4 on there, right?
I put 4 on. Some people put
Okay.
3 on. It really,
Okay.
it does. They can choose what they want to put to make it stand up.
Mhm.
And then you take a thinner straw than that straw, and you put it inside. Now I've got my rocket. My rocket is ready. And can you see the rocket? Yes, you can.
Uh-huh. There
Away
it
goes my rocket. And you can, depending on for the boys, they can see how high it can go. Whether
Right.
maybe they might want to do it even this way, where instead of going up, they make their rocket go sideways, where they blow from the top and they make their rocket go sideways. They can experiment. Once they've got their rocket, they can experiment with it and choose how they want to make their rocket and what they want to do with their rocket.
Question. How do you
Yes.
attach those fins?
I
Those
just put
fins at
some
the
glue,
bottom?
just with plain
Okay.
glue, just
Okay.
ordinary glue. I glued them on. They stuck on very quickly and very easily.
Nice.
And so I just popped keep asking, keep asking the
Okay.
questions. All right. The next one, oopsie, screen share. Come on, screen share, up you come. I'm not going to share yet. I'm going to show you and then share. The next one we're going to make is this one. We've got four popsicle sticks, two popsicle sticks on the underside, and 2 popsicle sticks stuck together on the top. I do give you notes on these and how to
Okay,
make them.
good.
So you do get those in your notes. Right,
Good.
so you've got your popsicle sticks. You stick them together so that they're nice and firm. I put 2 buttons on either end, or you can put 2 anything. It's just to stop the elastic band from going into the center. It's a barrier just to stop it, the elastic band going in.
Okay.
Then what you do is you take your elastic band across, round the end of the popsicle stick, and then back in front of the popsicle stick. The stronger your elastic, the harder it is to launch, but the further it goes. So with the younger children, you'd use a softer elastic band because that would then launch very quickly, very easily. I've got a very firm one. So for me, it's actually quite a strain to get it to go, but it really does go far. You then take your earbuds because they can't hurt anybody, and
That's
nobody.
what is earbuds. Okay. We call them Q-tips.
Oh, Q-tips. Sorry, Q-tips.
Yeah,
I call them
okay.
earbuds.
Earbuds.
Q-tips. Yeah, Q-tips, and you pop your and you take a fat straw and a little piece of fat straw and stick it on. That's just so that you are able to direct your missile. you could probably do it without it, but it just makes it nicely directed. You put that inside and you pull your elastic band back. I've got to get my elastic band to come back. You pull it back so that it just stays inside the hole.
Yeah.
Mind your fingers out the way because they do affect the flight. So I must just get my fingers out the way. This is a very strong elastic band. I must actually change it. And then you release. There it goes down the passage.
Okay.
It took off down the passage, just takes off straight down wherever you've got space. I go and pick up all my bits afterwards.
So what you're actually holding is the launcher.
You hold the
the-
launcher and the elastic band with the
Okay.
Q-tip on it, and then you just release it, and that just sends it straight up through the launcher and out through the door. And it works really well.
I'd like to see what that would do with the Nerf bullets that they use in their Nerf guns.
Yeah.
I'll try that.
Yeah, just watch who's around at the time for that. So those are, and then the last one that we have is a paper folded one. It's a very simple paper fold that you do, and that then makes, and then you pop it open. Once you've done your paper folding, it then becomes a rocket. Not a very good launcher that I'm putting it on. And oops, I'm launching it without, let me choose a different thing that's straight. That was not straight. And then onto that, you then just take your long straw, nice fat straw, and you put it in underneath, pop it in underneath, and got to get it in underneath. Doesn't want to stay flat today. All right, let's put it on my hand instead. Have it on my hand. Way it goes.
Oh, very cool.
And it takes off to wherever it's going. So that's another rocket that you can launch. So there's just different types of rockets to be launched. It makes for fun and things to do. Now we've got catapults. Catapults are great, and bows and arrows. You can make a very simple bow and arrow using your popsicle stick. What you can do is soak your popsicle stick for 20 minutes or thereabouts. Then it becomes malleable and you can bend it to whatever size or shape you want. So you could make bracelets out of it. If you want to make bracelets out of it, then you just bend it and put it inside a cup or a glass so that it bends to the size you want. And then you bend your pop. Whoa! I broke my popsicle stick. Oh, that wasn't so hotchy. I was bending it too far and it wasn't wet. But what you do, I'll just hold it together. You put you put some string around the top and string around the bottom. I made a little notch in it just so that the string stayed in one place and didn't move. And then again, you put your Q-tip inside, pull it back and release, and off it goes down the passage. So it's a very simple bow and arrow, an unhurting bow and arrow. If you're making one with a piece of tubing, if you're using thin tubing, and you can then put a string on the back of that, you can make a really nice bow and arrow. But that one, set a target and be around if it's for the older children. Yeah. You can also build a very simple catapult with 3 popsicle sticks in the center to make the springiness of it. 1 popsicle stick above, 1 popsicle stick below. Let's do that. 1 popsicle stick above, 1 popsicle stick below, and you put a bottle top on top. You use elastic bands across the middle to hold it firm and an elastic band at the end to hold it firm so it stays closed. Then you can launch anything. I've got a koala. I've got a little koala and I can launch. What you do is you close that down and release and off it goes.
Ah,
You can really
they will love this.
you can do marshmallows. You can do you can do these soft cute cotton buds. Cotton buds also work very well. You can release a cotton bud. There goes a cotton bud. Off go cotton buds. So you can do all sorts of things, but they really enjoy trying to catch the marshmallows because then they can eat them. So there are lots of fun ones that you can do with it. So that is another one that you can do.
Yeah.
One of the ones that I didn't do right at the very beginning, I'm going to actually be very naughty and just go all the way back because I something else to make with them. Oh, it wasn't there. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. It wasn't, I didn't miss it. I thought I'd missed something and I hadn't. It'll come up later. Right, wheels and axles. You can make very interesting cars of all descriptions, anything, a moving car. Now, the way to make a wheel and axle is to take a skewer and you put the skewer onto each on the one end of the skewer you put bottle tops. Milk bottle tops are wonderful, and if you want really firm wheels, put two bottle tops joined together. They make a really fat wheel, and it makes a really strong wheel. Then you put a straw through and then put the other wheel on. Now your axle can turn because it's inside the shaft and it allows it to turn.
Mm-hmm.
So your wheels can really go quite fast as you go.
So you're holding onto a straw?
I'm holding a straw. That's my shaft.
And what is the thing the straw is inside the straw?
Is your skewer. A skewer.
Skewer. Oh, okay, right. Okay.
Put a skewer inside the straw, and that then onto the skewer go your wheels. So then because if you've just got your wheels and no on an axle, but you haven't got something to go it on, those you can't turn your wheels. But now your wheels can spin really fast if they want to. Your wheels can go, and they can then create their cars that actually can move. Here is a lovely little car. I'm going to stop sharing again for a second. Made with a clothes peg. You've got a clothes peg. I've put two little pieces of straw, one through the fat part of the clothes peg, the fattest hole in your clothes peg. You put a straw through there, and you attach a straw on top with a little piece of tape. And then I've used toothpicks to put them through on toothpicks, and I've just used beads, fat ball beads that I've attached them. But you could use milk bottle tops again. They work wonders. I've collected so many bottle tops that work like that. And then all you do is when you're making it, it's upside down because it's easier because of the tape that you're putting at the bottom. But then when you're ready to go, you have it, and now it's a dragster. So it faces downwards and away goes your dragster. And it's a lovely little vehicle to make, and away they go with their vehicle. So that's a fun, quick activity, but a lot of fun to play with as a wheel and axle. Oh, yeah, before I share again. Now, I'm not sure, I'm sharing anyway. I'm not sure what you call this one here at the bottom. In South Africa, we called it a tolletjie, which is an Afrikaans word. And I don't know the English word for it. But what you do is you take a cotton reel, and I'm using a paper clip because I don't have a cotton reel yet. My cotton reel seems to be taking forever to empty. So, and then what you do is you, I'm using a peg instead of a cotton reel. So that's my cotton reel. And then you use a paper clip on one side, an elastic band on the other side, and a pencil or a pen or something big on the other side. And then you wind your elastic band up as tight as you can with your pen. Your pen is the easiest one to, so you wind it up really tight until it's fully wound, and you let go. You put it down on the ground and let go. And even though this is so big, it loops round and round and round and round, and off it goes down the road. Even though it theoretically looks like it shouldn't, because if one side is so big and the other side is so small, but it works, and it takes off and off it goes. But you can make all sorts of vehicles with wheels. You can also learn how to make them so that they move by themselves as well, using elastic bands to set them going. Using the same principle as my toliki, you can wind up an elastic band on your car and make it go. So there's lots of ways they can work out how to make their vehicle move. Then going on to gears and pulleys. These are something that we see every day. You see gears moving. How do our blinds go up every day? How does our bicycle work with the gears? So they can make very simple gears just with circles of corrugated cardboard, and you put two together in the middle as your center, and corrugated card round the edge. And then by just turning a long pegboard pin, you are able to, just turning that, it then turns the next one and the next one and the next one and the next one, and they can make big ones and small ones. You can also do it with popsicle sticks stuck onto bottle tops. That also works very well. And then you just place them in a place so that they are able to move. I used very thin nails to put through the bottle tops, and then you just turn one, and it doesn't matter which one you turn, it'll make everything move.
Yeah.
And they really enjoy moving things with that. You can also make your first pulley. You just get a container, any kind of container, put a string on it, and you are the pulley. So now you put your arm down, you put your arm up, you put your arm down, you put your arm up, you are the pulley. And at the underside of that, you can put little pieces of magnet. I get magnets in the post that they want you to put on the fridge, and I put it on the fridge for a while, and then I take it off and I cut it up into pieces. Or I use the paper punch, and I punch little pieces out, and you attach that to the bottom of it. Now, if you put anything like paper clips underneath, it picks them up. So you put it down and you pick up your paper clips and take them off. And then they start putting things inside. How heavy can I pick up before my bucket breaks? And so they then play with it. So they become the first pulley. Then after that, you can create, let me stop sharing for this one. You can create a pulley. You take two long roller towel ones, and you cut a little V into the roller towel so that your straw will fit inside the V. And then you do the same on the other side. I've put sticky tape over the top purely because I'm holding mine all the time and I don't want it to fall out, but it also secures it as well. Then if you use, what I do is I go to the place where I buy my materials and all my bits and pieces, and I find rolls of fabric, ribbon, I couldn't think of the right word, that are nearly finished, and I buy those rolls. Because there's only a little on it, I can use the ribbon, but I get the rolls, and that's what I'm looking for. Because these make wonderful wheels as well. If you're wanting to make something with big wheels, this makes an awesome wheel. So you can use it as wheels as well. And then what they are able to do is by putting this on, I can now wind it up. I'm going down. I can wind it up, and I can wind it down. and I can wind it up. Up it comes, up it comes, up it comes, and they can see how their pulley works. And so they can start putting buckets on the bottom and putting things in it and winding it up, and they can change what they want to do. They can use the same yogurt container buckets. They work very well indeed to make a bucket for it. So you are able to then do what you are make what you are making. Right, share. Right, so those are just your simple gears and pulleys. So basically, we're just learning the basics of how things work. After that, they can start creating their own. Once they know how to work the mechanism, they then can start, depending on their age, creating. Now, here's things that for all ages. You start with the most simple of levers, which is a peg. You put a peg onto the front of the peg, you put a shape. You choose your shape, and then you just cut your shape through and stick some on the top, some on the bottom. Now they've made their opening and closing animal.
Aww.
Which is just so cute. They can design any animal of their choice, and away they go. So that's your first lever. That's your simplest of all levers. Then we move on to, oopsie, these have decided to get stuck together. So let me just take them off out of here. Right, then you move on to a slightly more difficult lever where you cut up your cereal boxes into strips that are about that wide. Now, let's have a look. Stop sharing. Right, now I join because I'm making a small one and it's only 2, I have put my paper clips, my split pins not in the center. When you'll see later on, you actually put your split pin into 3 places, one on either end, one in the center. For this, I've chosen not to. I've chosen to put it at the end and not quite at the end because I want to be able to use the end. And I've done the same on this side. This side, I've also put them so that they are not quite, I've made a shorter distance between the 2, just so that I can get the most movement out of it in a small space, because I want to be able to show it on my camera. And then you can make it even longer than that. Now this time I've done it correctly. I've put my paper split pins, one on each end and one in the middle. And you build from there. The one on this end, you don't need a paper fastener because that's your moving end. And then you join them and you can make them longer. I've made these short because I want to be able to show it, but you can make them longer. You can make them about that long. So then it really does stretch out. And now my creature is able to have a wide open mouth. Now I want to bite you. I go. And you're able to go. And the longer it is, the further it can go. You can go and pick up something with your hand. You can pretend to pick it up, open the mouth, go down, pick it up, carry it away, and so on. So this is your levers, your monster munchers, and they can then put whatever face on the front. They can really go to town with what they are doing. Now, with that, let me share again. Where am I? Here we go. Share. The one in the center at the top would be for your 14-year-old.
Yeah.
This one, he's really got to think about it. You've got your if you push it, the ones that are stationary are the bottom mouth is stationary, and this one here is stationary. It only moves a very short distance. It doesn't move a long distance, so that it's just letting the mouth, put it into the mouth, open the mouth, put it in. But they've really got to think about how they are going to get it to do, how they're going to make it only now they've got two sets of levers working there. And how do you get both sets of levers to do what you want at the same time? You don't want him putting his hand down and his mouth open and then bring it up and his mouth is closed. So that really takes a bit of thought, but it's great fun to make, and it's a challenge. It's a definite challenge for them. So that makes a really good challenge for your older children. The boy that was making it the other day, he at first said, going to be so easy, really, give us a challenge. I said, okay, show me how. Well, an hour and a half later, he was still working at it and saying, I can't get this thing to do quite what I wanted to do. And but he wasn't giving up until he got it. And at the end I said, well, wasn't that easy? He said, no, actually, it wasn't as easy as you said it would be. So that really makes it a difference and makes it easier for them to do. So you set your challenge according to the age. They're all doing the same thing, but they're doing it at different levels. And so they are able, my little grandson, he only makes the one on a pig, and he loves his one on a pig. He's not allowed to put the pig onto his little sister, though. She's a baby. And he's not allowed to use it on the dog's tail either. So, there are all the different places and things that they can do. And then the last one we're going to be making within this section is your monster munchers. Is your robotic arms and your robotic fingers. Now, what you do is you take your, stop sharing. You take your hand and you draw around your hand, but bigger than your hand. And then you see that you've got 1, 2, 3 bends in your finger, and you mark them on the paper. You mark your 3 bends, 2 bends for your thumb, 3 bends for every other finger. And I score them so that they really do bend inwards.
Yes.
Then what you do is you take tiny pieces of straw. Do not take them too big. In fact, on this model, I think mine are too big. I want to make another one where they are slightly smaller. Because you want to be able to bend each finger. And if they're going to bump into each other, they're not going to bend as well. So that is trial and error to get it right. And you just sticky tape them on. You sticky tape them onto each of the fingers. Then at the top of the finger, you secure a piece of string. I actually used a stapler, and I stapled it because they can paint the back of it afterwards. You'll never see the staple holding your piece of string. As you can see, I've stapled my piece of string on. Now, as you pull each finger down, then what you do is you make sure that all of your folds are working. So you push each one down, you make sure that each one is working before you start. So pushing down so that it closes. Push on it. This finger is not good enough. And the same goes for the thumb. Now, as you pull each finger down, so the finger goes down. And so you can pull your thumb in, you can pull in each of your fingers. There's the next finger, and finally my baby finger. And so they can have their hand coming in and out. You gather all your threads into a single one in the middle. If they've got a very big hand, they can actually put an extra straw in over here, but I haven't because I've got a small hand. And now your fingers all close. Your robotic arm opens and closes. And the kids love this. They really enjoy making this hand that can close, or this finger that can go and do this too. You can also change color on your threads so that you know exactly which finger you're pulling. So you can do it all the same, or you can make a different colors, and it allows you to see, I'm pulling my baby finger now, I'm pulling my thumb now, and so on. But even the little ones can make this, and they are so excited when their fingers all curl up. But just make sure your pieces of straw are not too big. That is a mistake that most people make, is thinking the straw must be the same size as the joint. It mustn't. It must be smaller than the joint, and then it'll work really well. Now, any questions on this one?
No, I don't think so. Those are fun.
There are lots of exciting. Then this one is for a rainy day, or if you're wanting to just have a lot of fun. They play dominoes. They have domino drops. Well, instead of domino dropping, you don't need to domino drop. You can clothes peg and popsicle stick drop. You put your clothes pegs as nice and firmly onto your popsicle sticks, and you make a series of them. You can either give them a set number, or they can make as many as they want. And the first one they do is they make it as long as they can. And then they hit the first one and down they go. Then you set them a track where there's a curve in where you want them to go. You can actually draw it in chalk or something like that. Now they've got to work out how they're going to still hit, but now they're not both sides is hitting, only one side is hitting. How am I going to get it to work? And it's quite a challenge to see how to get it to make a curve and then go. So you can have all sorts of paths that you make with it. They can then design their own curves, their own paths. And you can also set them a challenge. You've got only 10 of these. How far can you go? And then they've got to stretch it to the absolute limit so that it just touches as it goes down, and therefore theirs is longer than the other ones. So all of these are awesome things that they can do. And this is a lovely one for a rainy day or a time when they have to stay inside for a particular reason. They can really have a lot of fun right down the passage, where whatever, you can set it for them and they can go. So that is a lovely domino challenge.
Good question. Do you think that works on carpet as well as a slicky floor?
Yes, I would say it does work on carpet. It'll work on anything as long as it can fall over. So I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work on that. We built in the garage, and we built on the garage floor, and they designed their paths and away they went in the garage. And so, yeah, you can do it anywhere. I'm almost 100% sure it would go on a carpet. I can't see any reason why. I'll go after this lesson and make it and see if it does. I would probably say 90% sure that it does. Do it.
I like this because there's no glue or tape or anything involved in this.
Nothing. Well, in my structures class, there is no glue, no tape, no anything. It's just straight building, and it's awesome. So really that is such fun, and it doesn't involve, because the glues and the sticky tapes, but the first one we built, my granddaughter said to me, oh, but can't I have glue and can't I have paper? And I said, no, none of those things. And when she'd finished and done it, she was so proud of what she'd created, that it really made it worthwhile. So yeah, it's wonderful things to do and that you can do with it. There's a lot of things. There's the popsicle sticks and pegs, although it's now called me time. It's for us to do. At the beginning, I do a little bit for children, but my children's ones will be up again in June for the summer holidays, so that you will have ideas for summer holidays for the kids. So those will come again in summer holiday time. So yeah, so that's the end of our class. I hope you learned some ideas.
I have them on Saturdays, so I want to do the The one with the clothespins and the popsicle sticks, the domino thing for sure, Saturday.
Ah, excellent.
We just have to,
Excellent.
the baby, there's nothing here baby proof. We just got to make sure he's not around.
Yes. How old is he?
He just turned 10 months and he's walking and getting into everything. So he'll just scream if we don't let him pull it apart. And he's still putting everything in his mouth. So
Yeah. So you do have to be careful of what
Yeah.
goes in the mouth. Yeah, I've got a granddaughter who's 10 months old as well.
Oh, aren't they
And then,
adorable?
and her little brother is 2.5. And they are just so cute and so sweet.
They
Really,
are.
they are absolutely so cute.
Adorable.
Right. So thank you so much. And if you do make things with your grandchildren, you can send a picture to
Yeah.
Liz at Get Set Up, and then she puts it on the website so people can see, hey, this does work. And oh, look, somebody made this. And look how much fun their children are having and their grandchildren are having, and so on. So that's a lovely way of doing it. I also do Boredom Buster structures. I do my new one called Boredom Buster for Pets, where we make all sorts of pet toys, and Boredom Busters for seniors. And then our recycling, where we're using our popsicle sticks and our pegs and so on. Tin cans is another one. There's some lovely ideas for kids with tin cans, and my upcycling. So there are lots of different classes available to be able to see. The ones for next week have just gone up, so there you are able to see what we're doing next week. You can just Google, you can just put my name into the top of your search bar when you're on Get Set Up, and all my classes will come up.
Thank you for telling me that, because I didn't know that would work like that. That's good to know.
They've only just introduced it. It came in a couple of weeks ago because
That's
everybody was asking. So you can just put my name in and up it'll come, and all the classes for that week will be there. And then you can book which ones you like, and so on.
Wonderful.
I will also send you notes. There are lots of notes in the moving toys, so you get all the different ones and how to make them. And then I'll give you you also get some ideas of other classes, but the choice we get is quite random, and often it doesn't have anything to do with what I'm doing, but we still have to put 3 up, so you might get some random ones that come up as well. And then there's a feedback form, so you can let us know if there's anything else you'd like to see, if you enjoyed what you saw, things like that. It gives us an idea of whether we're going in the right direction and whether we're doing the sort of things you would like us to do. And if you want to invite a friend, you can book and then invite a friend. There's now a thing where you can tell a friend about what's a class that you're going to, because it's so much more fun if your friend's in the class as well, and then you can also do it. So you can share when you book a class. So, and if you want to spread the word in the community, if there's any community where you think it might work, you can contact Liz at help@getsetup.io, and she will be able to reach out to those communities and let them know more about Get Set Up. So thank you very much indeed, Patty. It's been lovely to have you in class. I really hope you've got some good ideas from it, and that you'll be able to do some fun things.
Thank you. Well, that's a lot of fun things. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Kim, for being in class.
Kim. You're very welcome, Sue. Thank you, Patty.
There she is.
There she is.
All right. I hope to see you both again.
I hope so too. Have a lovely evening.
And
Bye for now.
Day.
I will do. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks a lot.